I'm CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I'm living in the real world. I mean, everybody has to work, right? My job is CS, customer service, solutions, relationships, and generating motivation to keep my team pumped up and connected to every single guest that comes through that store. Whether it's a small basket or a large cage full of food, got to keep them pumped up and moving forward. This is C.T.C.S, episode number 21, Window to the World. Can you hear any of that nature? Carolina, at the beginning parts of January 2022, I'm on the transition walk, going from podcaster to guy in CS, making the move to be mentally ready to take on any situation. At least, when you're at home, when you're podcasting, you've pretty much got everything under control. I've done my show prep. I'm doing the editing. I'm posting. But when you're in customer service, you don't know anything that is coming your way. You just take it as it is. So that's how important this transition walk is. Every day before I go in, I've got to be able to get into the right mental state of mind so I can be strong in public. First day back since the brand new year and ready to rock, man. My little transition walk and everything like that seemed to be pretty cool. But then, this is one of the reasons why I do it, because there's always going to be a bump in the road somewhere along the way. I'm on my way into the store, and I get a phone call from my wife, and she says, hey, the doctor just called, and they need to talk to me. Something didn't work out. And so now it's like, you go into prayer, you go into meditation. It's like, it's showtime, but at the same time, family always comes first to me, and family is always going to win. Hey, the good news is that this idea of being aware of hitting the floor at 150 miles per hour the very second that you get here is really working. I mean, the past couple of weeks where, I was coming in here, ram, eager to go, positive, but your body's only moving maybe at 25-50% because, you work your way into this because it's so physical. But today I thought, I'm going to be ready for it in a really big way. I'm going to go in there with 150%, and we're going to be moving quickly, and it's really proved to be a very, very good day. This supply issue thing is so real, and that it almost feels like that it's not getting any better. I mean, I know that on New Year's Day and even the day after that we were low on produce and lettuce and things like that. But I mean, my God, no meat, no bread, and still no produce. I mean, this is kind of shocking to me. That it's like, okay, it's like, where along the line is it breaking down? And then customers are going, so you can't even get me Fritos? No, I can't. Enter mouth, stick foot in. A gentleman in age comes up to customer service, and I want people to be in great moods, and I want people to know that I'm paying attention to what they're doing and stuff, because people like to be noticed. And he's got a lot of baby food, and I go, oh, how old is your baby? And thinking grandchild, okay, or maybe even a great grandchild. And he goes, it's my 99-year-old mom. And open mouth, insert foot. Gentleman comes up to me and says, I noticed that you move around a lot throughout the store. And he says, don't think of me that I'm weird, but I really have to find out what kind of shoes you're wearing for you to be moving around as much as you're moving around. And I do. I'm doing a lot of putbacks. I'm running from this register to that register. Sometimes I'm over in self-checkout. You're always moving around because it's like, you got to take care of the store. And so I told him, I said, I wear Hokas. And he goes, I've never heard of that shoe. And I said, I didn't either until I got really injured. And my chiropractor said, go get a pair of these Hokas. And he says, my God, I was just at my chiropractor, and he said the same exact thing. So we're going to have a Hoka community. That's what we're going to do. So yesterday I'm in the studio, and I'm putting away the interviews that I got while I was at the school broadcasting. And because I take interviews and things like that. I do interviews with famous people, with the students, so they can learn how to talk with other people. And so I'm in the studio at home, and my wife is driving home from a movie premiere, and she says, is there anything you need from the store? And I said, I just read this article that the lottery is at $756 or $675 million. I said, for some stinking reason, I'm getting this gut feeling that, can you just stop by and get a lottery ticket? What would happen if, huh? So maybe about an hour and a half, I'm here at the store, and I went, oh my God, I still got that lottery ticket in my wallet. And I won. I did. I won $4, man. Come on. I had a good feeling in my gut I was going to be a winner. I won $4. I don't know why I even went to this area of thinking. But for some reason, I just had this really bad... it was like a flashback. And I don't know if I saw... January 6th somewhere on the computer somewhere, but it said January 6th, and I instantly when I just took note that, wait a second, 1 year ago today, I was at a different store training. I had no idea that the insurrection or the riot was taking place in Washington, D.C. I had no idea. I was on that register, and to this day, I remember people coming in. They had tears in their eyes. They were questioning. They were bringing it up. And, of course, Captain Happy here, I had to sit there and say, it's probably not as bad as what we think it is. And then I going to do my break. It was on the news in the break room, and that's where I got my first picture of this insurrection or riot. And, yeah, to this day, I still feel that fear. An update on my wife and the news. I mean, she was at work when she got the phone call, and she didn't want to talk to a doctor while on the job, which I totally get. So she was going to call the doctor when she got home. And, the numbers are not right. And at this point in time, that's all I can say is, now as we grow, we will have to deal with it, and I'm sure that it will be a new chapter in our lives as we, keep moving forward. And that's the goal, is just to keep moving forward. But yeah, the numbers, they're not good. Big water spill in aisle number 5. I mean, I've had broken bottles before, and ketchup and spaghetti sauce and things like that. But water, I mean, it's when you spill an entire gallon of water on the floor. Especially on the grocery store floor. I mean, it's a beast to clean up because water moves. Everything else just wants to get planted, but water just moves. I mean, we've all had spilled water on the floor in the kitchen or in the bathroom and stuff like that, but this was like 1 gallon that fell off from the 3rd shelf and exploded. So it took up a lot of mopping. About 15 minutes to get it dry because you don't want any water on the floor here. No slippage, period. Well, that was kind of freaky weird. We have live music on Thursday nights, and so what I do is I will go and introduce the performer and stuff like that. They didn't tell me that they switched performers. My name on the list. So I introduce him as the wrong guy. God. Okay, well, that was fun. I always have to laugh when a guest comes in or comes up to customer service and says, "That person over there on lane number 4 overcharged me on my tomato juice. It's only supposed to be $3.47. They charged me $4.49. And, with a smile, behind a mask, your eyes are showing off and stuff like that. You go, well, let's figure this out. Well, the one that was $4.49 was actually 2 times larger than those. And so you just say, you know what? That's an Easter egg. We'll fix it. And you give them back their money. But they get so angry at the people on the registers. And, don't be angry. We'll figure it out. You would never know that there's a pandemic taking place. The store is so crowded. 24,700 people were diagnosed with COVID. And, it's just... You just get kind of nervous when you're walking down the aisles going, my God, I hope one of them doesn't bite me. Well, we just got word from management that starting this Monday, because of COVID-19 and the surge of sicknesses, we will be closing at 9 o'clock again. So that hits our pocket. When you're paid by the hour, that's a real job. This isn't radio where I got paid a salary. It hits you in the pocket, and you're losing hours. So now you got to figure out where you're going to make them up at. So, the effects of COVID still very much alive, and it's going to affect a lot of people because the people that come in to the store at 10 o'clock at night, they can't get here because they're at their own jobs. A person of suspicious behavior has entered the store. About a 6-foot-tall woman, heavy dark jacket, brings in her own shopping cart full of bags. It looks like bags and sort of clothing things, and she's going around the store. The fear is that she's going to put food inside these bags. So, but right now security is on it, and we're in lane number 7. Now, keep in mind, this is a person of suspicion who has now moved over to the deli, and and basically what they're doing is they're just watching to see if she is going to put anything away, and in reality, what happens is that if they see that it puts into a bag, they'll just say, do you have a receipt for what you've got in the bag? And if she doesn't have a receipt, we just take the food back. So, but I mean, it's not it's not like a television show where they jump you or anything like that. It's just basically we're all playing by the same rules, and the rules are don't take things. Our person of suspicion keeps trying to make it. We got 2 doors, one on the right, one on the left, and she keeps traveling back and forth between very casually. Probably to not really think that she's being watched. I mean, she's very casual at what she's doing. We have seen her pick up a lot of things. And wait. She's actually going to go to lane number 1. Here we. All right, this is going to end peacefully. Well, all right, okay. Anytime, if you suspect anything, you really do, you've got to treat it like there's a possibility that something could be going on here. And she's in lane 1. Just when you think things are wrapping up, it's going to go smoothly. I was asked to go stand in lane number 1 to find out what was going on and what was taking so long. And the amazing amount of food that was brought out. Well, I mean, it was pay time, and so there was no money, and so then it's like, how would you like to break this down? So because we want to make sure that you get something to eat, and so we stood there for about 5 minutes, and with nothing being said, and so we had to explained that we needed payment for the food, and so she wouldn't say anything, and then finally she pointed to 3 things that she wanted, which was the soda, the gum, and the bottled water, and in other words all the stuff with the protein she left behind. And that was sad. It hit me in the heart because it's tough for a lot of people out there. And the soda was worth more to her than the eggs and things like that. And please let me clarify that we did try to buy the eggs and things for her, and she said no. She would not accept that at all. But I mean, the person, the cashier on number 1, and I both agreed that there was no way that she was going to go out there on a night that was going to be 22 degrees without some sort of protein. And so then she felt offended that we were going to pay for the food, and it was like, oh my God, this has got to end on a positive note somehow, some way. Letting our guests know that we're going to be closing an hour earlier starting on Monday. Not happy.
No bye.
Okay. So their reaction is pretty much, why? And of course, we make mention of COVID and stuff like that, and they go, wow, it only takes an hour out of somebody's day to cure COVID. Whew, okay, we're going to embrace this one. But I'm just being honest with them and saying, look, here's the situation. We're going to be closing an hour early. I don't want you to be freaked out if you show up at 9:15. Woman comes in, has $3,500 worth of Target gift cards. $3,500, okay? I asked to see her ID. I see her ID. I see the credit card or the card she's wanting to use. 2 completely different names. I denied it. I couldn't do it. And she kept saying, well, it's my mother's. And someone said that you should have let her do it because her mother could be at home with COVID. And I was like, you know what? I just couldn't do something like that because I grew up in a house where people stole from my mother, her kids. How do you know the story? You know what I mean? I was just checking out a guest. They were on their way out. And, getting out, the weather is so bad here, it's unbelievable. But I said, I try to be happy. I said, fly be free. And the guest started laughing. And I goes, you know where that came from, right? And he goes, no. And I said, Mork and Mindy. And he goes, what? I said, Mork and Mindy. Do you know what Mork and Mindy is? No. What is Mork and Mindy? And so I'm going, do you know who Robin Williams is? No. Who's Robin Williams? I was like, oh my God, generation gap. What would the chances be that about 85, maybe 89% of our cough syrups, headache medicine, anything like that is we're bare. We absolutely are bare. And I mean, it's amazing with the COVID rise and stuff like that. I don't remember anything like this happening when COVID first started in March of 2020. There's a huge run on cold medication right now, and I don't hear people sneezing and whining, junk in their throats and stuff like that. But to have no medication, that's a shocker to me.